Hey guys, Gizmodic here, and this is the Honor Play. I've had this phone for almost a month now, so it's time for a full review. And if I were to review this phone actually a couple of weeks back, I would have said that this is the best performing phone for 20,000 rupees. But as we all know, we have the Poco F1 now, so does it really make sense to buy the Honor Play now? I'm going to answer that question in my review, and before we get started, I have a small disclaimer for you guys. So if you're an Honor fanboy, then maybe you shouldn't watch this video because clearly you guys cannot take criticism well, as seen from my PUBG video on the Honor Play. I do appreciate constructive criticism in my videos, but then if you guys are just going to hate on me because I'm being honest about a device, then you will definitely get blocked. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's get started with my review of the Honor Play, and if you guys want to buy the tempered glass that I have on my phone, the links to it would be in the video's description. Let's get started. So the main idea behind the Honor Play is to provide maximum performance for the minimum amount of price. Be it the Kirin 970 processor, the 4 or 6 gigs of RAM, the 3750 mAh of battery, GPU turbo, or even the 4D Smart Shock gaming experience. Everything's geared towards someone who plays a lot of games on their phone and is a power user. Consequently, I played a lot of games on my Honor Play, and I have to say that the gaming experience has been quite good. I did use the 4D touch feature as well. I got it in the last update on this phone, but I honestly feel that it's sort of a gimmick. It didn't really enhance my gaming experience that much, and I can live without it. So yeah, I think the 4D gaming experience is sort of a gimmick, but your opinion may vary, and do let me know if you guys like it or not. Anyways, like I said, the gaming experience has been good on this phone, but then I had issues with PUBG on the Honor Play. I've actually made a separate video about this, so you can watch that. The link is in the video's description. The main issue is that I didn't find the Honor Play to be as good as the Snapdragon 845 devices with respect to PUBG. Phones like the OnePlus 6, the Poco F1, the Zenfone 5Z play PUBG a lot better than what the Honor Play does. On the Honor Play, you can play at the HD settings, but then there are frame drops and stuttering and things like that in some intense scenarios. So I majorly played it on the balanced graphic settings, and the gameplay was much more smoother than what it was on HD. Now some of you Honor fanboys might say that my internet is slow, I don't know how to play the game, but then I do have a 100 megabits connection, my ping is almost 20 milliseconds. And if I'm bad at PUBG, I should be bad at all of the phones and not the Honor Play. So yeah, definitely the PUBG experience is not as smooth as Snapdragon 845 devices, and that is something you should keep in mind if you're planning to buy this phone. If gaming is your main priority, then I think Poco F1 is the phone to buy because it's got the Snapdragon 845 plus that liquid cooling. But then apart from that, I think the performance of this phone is not that bad. But when you move on to the outside, here's where the Honor Play wins over the Poco F1. Unlike the Poco F1, the Honor Play gets an all-metal body, so it feels much more premium and solid than the Poco F1. Even in terms of display, the Full HD Plus panel in general seems better on the Honor Play. The colors are better, they are more contrasty and nicely saturated, and overall, without any doubts, it's a much better display. But it doesn't get Gorilla Glass, so you should definitely get yourself a tempered glass protector so that you don't have to deal with scratches and things like that. Now you must be wondering, if the phone has such a high-end processor and a display, then how long does the battery life last on this thing? Well, with the 3750 mAh of battery, the phone can easily last you a full day or maybe even a bit more, and the battery life is actually one of the strongest points on the Honor Play. No complaints here, there's also fast charging, and a bit of credit goes to EMUI as well. Huawei has really worked on it, and I think it's as good as MIUI. Still, I'm a bit skeptical about regular updates here, but then EMUI offers tons and tons of features. I've covered them in my previous videos about Honor devices, and all in all, it's a feature-rich interface. There's not really a lot of bloatware, and these features are actually very helpful on the Honor Play. And my experience has been smooth throughout the time that I've spent with this phone. Moving on, let's talk about the camera, and here's where I felt the Honor Play is a bit behind than the Poco F1. I majorly compared it with the Mi A2 because I got my Poco F1 later on, and with respect to the Mi A2, I found the camera performance to almost be the same. There's a 16 megapixel sensor on the back along with a 2 megapixel depth sensor, and on the front as well there's a 16 megapixel shooter. The photos are good in daylight, it gets the AI mode, but then it works 50% of the time. Sometimes it takes really good photos, and some other times it just blows out the highlights a lot, so it still needs to be fixed with some software updates. In indoor conditions, the Mi A2 definitely has lesser noise as compared to the Honor Play, and I found both of them to perform equally average in extremely low lighting scenarios. But then, like I said, if the AI mode manages to recognize the scene well, it can sometimes get good pictures in low lighting. In terms of portrait mode, the Mi A2 has better edge detection, but then where I liked the Honor Play better than the Mi A2 was in terms of the front camera. The colors are better on the selfies taken from the Honor Play. In terms of video, you can shoot up to 4K, but you only get EIS up to 1080p, and the stabilization works really well on it as well. Lastly, talking about some miscellaneous stuff, the phone has dual VoLTE support, the call quality and network reception is solid, audio via the headphone jack is good as well, and the loudspeaker is decent too. No complaints here. The fingerprint sensor is very fast, and this phone also gets the face unlock feature. I think it's actually one of the fastest face unlock that I've tried in the 20,000 rupee mark, and it actually works really well on the Honor Play. I had tried it on the Honor 9N, wasn't really that impressed, but the one on the Honor Play definitely works great. So I really don't have any complaints with respect to the fingerprint sensor or even the face unlock feature. So overall, if I have to summarize, the Honor Play is not a bad phone. But then if I have to buy a phone for around 20 to 22,000 rupees, I would go buy the Poco F1. The performance is much better on that phone, you've got a better camera as well, and overall I think the Poco F1 is a more value for money device, especially the 664GB variant. The Honor Play is not a bad phone, but then if I have to buy a phone for that price, I'm gonna go buy the Poco F1. But just in case you don't want to buy the Poco F1 for some reason, you can go with the Honor Play. Do let me know which phone would you pick between these two and why would you pick that phone. Definitely let me know in the comments. That concludes my review of the Honor Play. If you guys liked it, then please hit the like button. If you're new here, then definitely hit the red subscribe button and also press the bell icon so that you don't miss out on my new videos. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back in the notifications very soon. Bye.